This is going to be a different, more sad video than I've ever done before, but I want to give you guys the full backstory as to what happened, so stay to the end. A couple months back, I went through one of the most terrifying, life-changing experiences of my entire life. By looking at my most popular videos, by looking at my content, I guess you could say I have a pretty daring lifestyle. I take dangerous risks a lot of the time, but this near-death experience was a different type of danger. This was something that I had never experienced in my life before. It hurt me so bad that it really opened my eyes and changed how I view everything. It changed my entire perception on life. It all began a couple months ago when my YouTube channel was blowing up. I was at the peak of my career, the peak of my views, posting videos every single day, and life just felt amazing. I was surfing, I was having fun with friends. It was all going perfect. It was honestly too good to be true. But seeing this surge in views made me push harder than ever. This made me more motivated than ever, so I kept putting out content, working even harder than I ever had, without knowing what was about to come in the future. I was live streaming every single day, posting shorts around 3 times a day. So literally posting 3 short videos and live streaming for like 2 hours every single day. It was a big part of my life, guys, and I was trying to boost my community until something strange happened. I couldn't really tell what it was in the beginning, but something started to feel off. Something really started to feel off. I couldn't really understand what was going on, but there was something wrong with my mood. It all began with my mood. I was making good money, I was hanging out with good friends, and my grades weren't too bad, but my mood was just off mentally. And then here's where it all went downhill. I started getting a little cough creeping up on me. It wasn't too bad. It happened every couple hours, and I thought it would go away. I was like, oh, it's not gonna be that much of a big deal. But it started to get progressively worse. I developed this cough over time, and I started coughing up mucus. I just kept working hard every day. Even with the cough, I had to stop live streaming a little bit, actually, for around 4 days. I fully stopped live streaming. And as this cough developed, I noticed something else was happening on the side. I started to develop a headache. This headache got progressively worse also, and I realized that as the days went on, my mood just declined, but I kept working really hard. That's one thing that stayed consistent, because I did not want to fall off, and this affected my mood even more. So it started to get worse from here. My symptoms felt a little weirder. By the way, this all took place at the end of the school year, when school was about to end and it was about to be summer. Every single kid in high school is so happy when it's about to be summer. They're really excited. They're about to party all summer with their friends and have a great time. And me, something just seriously felt wrong, but I really didn't know what it was. That's the weird part. So here's where it all goes down. The last day of school, it began with me waking up at 4 in the morning like some Apple CEO or David Goggins character. I do not know why I woke up at 4 in the morning. It was really weird. But when I woke up at 4 in the morning, I noticed something very, very strange about my cognitive mood. It really just felt like there was a brick inside of my head. I had the worst headache, and it wouldn't go away. I tried to go to sleep, it wouldn't go away. It was the last day of school. I was supposed to be happy. I was like, all right, it's the last day of school. I'm gonna just push through. Go to school. My school starts early at like 7:30 a.m. So I get to school. It's finals day. I have to present my final in front of the entire class. And when I get to school, I still feel this absolutely terrible pain in my head. And I really don't understand what it is. So I get to class, right? I act normal around everyone. Hey, what's up? Dab up all my friends in the hallways. I get to class and I start presenting my final project. Right in the middle of my presentation of my final project, I realize that I'm cooked. This is not just like, bro, I'm so tired, I want to go home. Like, there's seriously something wrong with me. So not only was I insanely tired, I was like, all right, I'm sick. I have acknowledged that I have some form of pretty bad sickness going on, but I thought I could just go home and deal with it. So being in school for those hours were probably some of the worst hours ever. I literally felt like my head was about to explode. And I get home. As soon as I walk in the front door, I go straight to my bed, lie down in that bed right there, lie down, look up at the ceiling with my eyes straight open. And then I realize something even worse is headed my way. I have terrible nausea. Nausea is like the urge to throw up. I throw up everywhere, all around the floor. And this is where it gets really bad. I realize that this is actually so terrible. Probably one of the worst feelings. I have a headache, throwing up, mood is off. So I call my mom because I'm the only one home. I say, I'm feeling really bad right now. What should I do? He's like, oh, it's probably just nothing. Go ahead and sleep some more. I try to sleep again. I clean up all the throw up around my room. I try to go back to sleep. And then something even worse happens again. I threw up all over the room once again. So right now I realize, like, no, this is really bad. I mean, I go into my bathroom and 30 minutes later, I'm still in there throwing up and it doesn't stop. And I don't even have any more food in my stomach, but I still am. So what happens next? I truly do not know why this happened to me, but it is still a mystery to the doctors. And so as I'm throwing up, I realize that this is something bad. I have to go to the ER. I'm very, very sick. I call up my friend. I'm like, hey, can you take me to the ER real quick, bro? He's like, yeah, I got you. No hesitation, takes me to the ER. W friend. So we get to the ER, and as soon as I get into the ER, they put an IV in my arm, tell me, all right, we're gonna run a couple tests, do a couple scans. I start posting videos on my Snapchat. Add my Snapchat right there, sebastian.c121, all lowercase. And I start posting on my Snapchat story because I think this is good content. It's not that serious of a sickness. I still didn't realize how life-threatening this sickness was. So I start posting on my Snapchat and everything. And this is hard. And then they tell me that there's something seriously wrong with my heart. I have fluid. I have called pericardial effusion. You guys can look this up. I have fluid, infectious fluid all around the sac around my heart. So basically this fluid was building up more and more, and it was compressing my heart. It was compressing my heart. So it would make it harder. It would make it more difficult for my heart to pump blood, and my heart rate was actually elevated because of this. But because I'm an athlete, I do a lot of sports on this channel. They really couldn't tell until they ran the ultrasound, which is like basically like an x-ray for your organs. So this is where it started to get really scary. They told me that I had to go straight to the hospital. I had to be rushed to the hospital. Feeling terrible, they injected a bunch of needles into me, injected me with this drug called morphine, which kills the pain. Actually a form of heroin, if you don't know. But as soon as they injected me, I felt this insane warmth in my body. I was like, I felt this crazy warmth. It was so weird. I did not, for me personally, I did not like that feeling. So I get to the ambulance, insane feeling being in the ambulance. We finally get to the hospital. And keep in mind I'm alone through this entire process because both of my parents are out of town. So I finally get to the hospital and they inject me with needles from about 9 p.m. to 4 a.m. Inject me with needles, run tests, run ultrasounds, everything. And they finally come to the conclusion that this needs surgery. Yeah. And when they said that, this is serious. This is bad. And throughout the whole situation, at this point, I was really numb to the situation. I really forgot about my entire YouTube channel. I forgot about everything else on my life. My end goal was just to survive. I just wanted to survive. And I'm grateful that I'm even here speaking to this camera till this day because this is insane. So the surgery, right before the surgery, I was praying a lot. I was really scared. And basically what the procedure consisted of, they would get a syringe, inject it right here below my heart. I still have the hole actually below my heart. Inject it under the rib cage and take out the fluid. They would put a drain into my heart to take out all the fluid. This procedure lasted took a couple of hours to do. I had full anesthesia. Anesthesia is the drug that makes you sleep like crazy. So I had full injections of anesthesia, and when I woke up, it was one of the craziest drugs. I started acting like I was the Terminator. I'm not lying. I was acting like I was the Terminator. I was like, AI, ChatGPT 5, Sam Altman coming for you. Bro, I was acting like I was the new AI Terminator that was gonna take over the world. It was the funniest thing ever. I wish I had videos. But I'm gonna show a little bit of videos up on the screen of my surgery right now in me in the hospital. So, but after the surgery was the worst part because it's not over. It's really not over. It gets crazier because the lesson that I learned from all of this that I'm gonna tell you guys is absolutely life-changing. So as I'm recovering from this hard surgery, it takes a real bad toll on my body. I have a drainage system right here with tubes out of it, literally connected into the sac of my heart. This doesn't allow me to walk very well. I couldn't walk for like 2 days. I have videos of me first walking. These are some videos of the first times I ever walked. I feel absolutely terrible. This is the video of the first time I was sitting on the side of my bed, actually, and I literally felt like, I can't even describe to you how I felt in this moment. You could see the look in my eyes. I was not the same person as I am right now. It's so scary to think about, because one thing like that can change your entire life, and I was not who I was today. It's like kind of traumatizing experience, to be honest. So as I was going through the hospital, this entire time, by the way, of recovering from the surgery is the worst part. The beginning of summer, looking at my phone, seeing all my friends post, oh yo, we're at this party, we're getting lit at this party, bro, and me just there in the hospital, suffering, feeling absolutely terrible. My only dream, my only goal was to get out of the hospital and go walk and see the sun. I wanted to see the sun. I wanted to see the sun so bad. I didn't see the sun in 8 days. And me saying this right now, I hope I don't sound like, oh, I want people to feel bad for me, because this is really an eye-opening experience, because there is people in that hospital that have not seen the sun in months. So I think you guys need to understand that it just got crazy. As I recovered, I got better and better every day. It took a long time to finally get out of the hospital. And when I got out of the hospital, this is where my experience fully shifted and my perception of life fully shifted. I truly believe that this experience was a sign from God to slow down and start to appreciate more things in my life. That's what I realized when I got out of the hospital. Because before, I was so caught up with working hard, getting views, going viral, growing my channel. I got my attention and focus in life turned away from the truly important thing: health, the people you surround yourself with, family, and surfing. And being in the hospital was one of the worst things ever. I am so serious. It literally was one of the worst things ever. And if you guys are in the comments, relate to that down below. It wasn't over once I got out of the hospital, because when I went back into daily life, I was so unbelievably happy. Like, I'm telling you, I was happy to be in my room doing nothing. I was happy to see the sun. When I first looked at the sun, 99% of the problems that people go through in their daily life are absolutely do not matter at all. I remember when I got back, I stubbed my toe so bad, and all I could do was laugh because I was just happy to be alive. It was crazy. And well, that's an extreme example. People would be sad if they stubbed their toe. But I'm telling you, the more better examples are with problems you have with your parents, or problems you have at school. Lesson learned. Don't take life too seriously sometimes. You gotta learn lessons with everything you do. You have to learn to appreciate the small things in life. Cracking jokes with your friends, having fun with family, surfing, sports. Do as much sports as you can if you're listening to this, if you're younger. And all of these problems with school, parents, life, they're so small in the grand scheme of things. And this is very different from the normal content I've made. And I'm making this video to really put that message out there. I hope you guys have watched till the end. This experience improved my relationship with God as well. I'm gonna keep on making amazing content for you guys. So make sure to watch more down below on my channel. Like and subscribe, boys. Let's go!